Islam is the world's second largest religion. With more than 1.6 billion followers, it's split into two main groups, the Shia, who are the minority, and the Sunni, who are the majority. The Organization of Islamic Conference now has 57 member states since its establishment in 1969. Some of these member states, including Syria and Palestine, and a non-member Israel, have many terrorist organizations working within them or against them. Using fear and some obligations to fundamental Islam, they are growing in popularity. Due to Islam's wide popularity throughout Africa and Eastern Asia, many of these people have begun to join the terrorist groups. My thesis statement is the three most dangerous countries that pose a national security threat to the United States due to their terrorist organizations within are Syria, Israel, and Palestine, and the Western world's fight on extremism is spreading more terrorism than democracy. Israel is a threat to the United States not because of its anger towards the United States, as it is one of our allies, but because of the enemies it has made. With most of the Arab world working against Israel, it naturally has many enemies. With the United States as essentially Israel's big brother, those enemies of Israel have and will show their anger against us. Right now, 32 United Nations member states do not recognize the State of Israel. Since the attacks on 9/11, there have been many different attacks on American soil. For example, the Boston Marathon bombing, where 264 were injured and 3 killed, or the recent shooting in San Bernardino, California, on December 2nd, where 14 were killed and 17 were injured. These attacks on the United States soil are coming because of the hatred the Arab world has for us due to our involvement in the disputes and affairs such as Israel. This is a constant reminder to us that our involvement in these affairs is spreading more terrorism as it brings it home. Palestine is a major threat to the United States because there are so many different terrorist organizations that are run out of Palestine. The major two being Hamas and Fatah. Hamas was founded in 1987 by Ahmad Yassin and Mohammed Taha as a branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. This Palestinian jihad's goal is the establishment of a Palestinian state. The sole target of its suicide bombing and missile attacks is Israel. They took part in the 2006 elections and won, which was very dangerous as the terrorist organization was in political control. After the 2007 Battle of Gaza, the Hamas government was disbanded by Mahmoud Abbas, but remained de facto rulers of the Gaza Strip. They are now led by Khaled Mashal and Ismail Haniyeh. The end goal for this group is the destruction of the State of Israel and to replace it with an Islamic State. The second group, Fatah, is a major Palestinian political party that was founded in 1965 by Yasser Arafat of Algeria. It originally opposed the Palestine Liberation Organization, which is one of the largest terror organizations in the world today. With help from Syria, Fatah started launching terrorist raids against Israeli targets in 1965. Fatah carried out dozens of raids only on civilian targets when it first started. Today, Fatah is one of the PLO's most prominent factions. Israeli statistics state that 3,500 Israelis have been killed and 25,000 have been injured because of Palestine since the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. Palestine's hatred towards America once again shows the repercussion of stepping in and creating and protecting Israel can create as the cost was kicking out many Palestinians from their homeland. My case study for this project is on terrorism in Syria. Right now, Syria is one of, if not the largest security threat the United States has in regards to terrorism. The general goals of the terrorism based in Syria is to demoralize all Israelis and embarrass them, to create a greater Syria in the Middle East, which would include the Syrian, Lebanese, Jordanian, and Israeli territory, and to finally stop the agreement between Israel and any other Arab nation. But these are just the general goals of Syria. Another organization working within the country has other goals set. ISIS, or ISIL, is one of the world's leaders in terrorism and are based out of Syria. Their leader is Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, an Iraqi who was once held in an American prison. Part of the danger of ISIS is due to our lack of knowledge about them. Even in 2014, Major General Michael K. Nagata, the Special Operations Commander for the United States in the Middle East, stated he barely started to figure out the Islamic State's appeal. Nagata said, "We have not defeated the idea. We do not even understand the idea." Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has been its leader since May 2010, but until the summer of 2014, his most recent appearance on film was his mugshot from the United States captivity at Camp Bucca during the occupation of Iraq. On July 5th of 2014, he came to deliver a sermon as the first caliph in years at the Great Mosque of Al-Nuri in Mosul. They say that there will be only 12 legitimate caliphs and Baghdadi is the 8th. The first goal of this group is the expulsion of all non-Muslims from the Arabian Peninsula. One of the things that can remove a Muslim from Islam includes being a Shiite, like most Iraqis are, meaning some 200 million Shia are marked for death in the Middle East. Another goal is to abolish the State of Israel. Also, they are waiting for a war that will end and start the apocalypse. They were anticipating within a year the arrival of Mahdi, a messianic figure who is supposed to lead the Muslims to victory in the apocalypse. Also, the armies of Rome will come together to meet the armies of Islam in northern Syria, and that Islam's final showdown with an anti-Messiah will occur in Jerusalem after a quote-unquote period of renewed Islamic conquest. To answer the first essential question, the countries that pose the greatest national security threat to the United States are Syria, Israel, and Palestine. Syria is a great threat because of the reign of ISIS and the land it has taken over in Syria. Israel is a threat due to its enemies blaming the United States for the creation of Israel. And finally, Palestine is a threat because of the terrorist groups Hamas and Fatah working within it. To answer the second essential question, the United States and the Western world's fight on extremism is spreading more terrorism than democracy because of the groups and enemies the fight has created. We have tried to put an end to extremism, but in return what we have created is just more extremism. My essential question is, will the powers of ISIS be defeated in the near future by the United States, or will it be a long-term threat to the Western world?